Hello and welcome to another edition of the Chill Stream here on a Tuesday night. It's 10 p.m. Eastern. What else do we have to say? I think we're going to have a few things to talk about tonight. Some things have come along for me. There's something a little different about me tonight that you might notice. I don't know. But before we get into all that, let me go and share this out to all the different places that I normally do. Or to the Twitters that some people might want to call X. I would not be one of them. Grab a link, share it in my thing. My Discord. And hello, everybody. How are we all tonight? Hey, Al. Hello, Cement Shoes. How are you guys tonight? I almost didn't recognize you. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. There's just a little something different about you tonight, right? It's hard to recognize me with, what that is. Obviously, what it is, I've taken away all my hair. A little bit has grown back. I did this last Wednesday. I was wanting to actually do it last Tuesday before doing my show, but where I was going to do it, I forgot my scissors, my shaving gel, my razor. So I ended up having to do it on Wednesday, not Tuesday, and a few people found out about it before you guys. It was just something I wanted to do for something different. I'm planning it for about half a week, a week. I must be awful. It must be awful hot. You shaved it all off. I didn't shave it off because of the heat. The heat had nothing to do with it. I've had long hair and hot weather or whatever. About probably 10, 15 years ago, I did something similar. Um, it was just going through, just life being whatever it is, and you know, it's something that I can control or a little bit, shave my head, make everything completely different, Not that it's really completely different because it's only my head, right? It's only my hair and my head. It's gonna grow back, Um, unless I do something about it. I don't know. Well, I think the last time too that I did it, for a while, I tried to have it grow in as a mohawk, um, but I ended up getting tired of trying to shave the sides, every week or two. It was just like, God, this is too much of a pain. And I wanted to do the mohawk thing because I wanted to have a mohawk from when I was a kid or sometime in my late teen, early teens, or before I was a teen. But my mom never would allow me. But and then I was, I'm an adult. I can have my hair out wherever I want. So yeah, I had it for. I'm not sure whether I got any pictures of me with the mohawk, but I tried to do that for a few months. Uh, I got a buddy who has a blue mohawk. Cool. Okay, so a blue mohawk. Just so I know, that's just a mohawk with the hair color blue, correct? Cement Cheese. Hey, Alec, and how are you? What's up? Seeing in the chat, much here. Any thoughts on my head? My lack of hair? And as you can, it's like, yeah, he dyes it blue. Okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something weird. A blue mohawk was Wasn't something else weird that I didn't know of. It's just the Mohawk dyed with the hair there dyed blue. Cool, I guess. Um, I've thought of dyeing my hair before. Technically, I've done it once. I tried red, but it didn't come out too reddish. It was just slightly darker with a reddish tint. Unfortunately, I did it myself the first time. Next time I do something like that, I wanted to dye my hair some other color before. But I think something like that, I'd get somebody's help that's done it before if I ever go and do it. Um, I have red hair. Well, I take by red hair, you have naturally red hair and not dyed red hair. Why do you hate being a ginger, as they would say? I think. Well, you can always dye it black or brown. But I had blonde as a kid. I tried bleaching it, but it came out Tweety Bird yellow. Oh, yeah, that could be a bit bright. So, yeah, hated it since I was little. What was it? Maybe because, did you get teased a lot because of red hair when you were little, when you were a kid? But as a few of you know, I've been working on my Insecto comic, and let's see, do I have? Uh, I don't have them here. One second. I don't know. One, two, six, that's what I have Insecto today. Probably. Let's see here. I just want to bring up Insecto. Sorry if I'm not reading the comments at the moment. Okay, let's let that search for Insecto. And we'll come back here. Hey, Elphys, Mike is streaming. Yeah, he's near the end probably. I tried darker, but my complexion is too pale, and that didn't look right either. Ah, okay. No, I was always the tallest kid in my class. Nobody teased me. Okay. I just thought somebody might have teased you because you red hair or whatever. Somebody could have teased you because you were tall, too. It's hard to say, but it is what it is sometimes. But yeah, I get being teased. I was teased. Okay, so for those that don't know who Insecto Insecto is, of course, one of my main characters. Uh, okay, so let's see. You chose multiple. You can only choose multiple items that locate in the same flavor. Okay. Okay, so here is a little bit of a look at Insecto. They would have gotten clobbered. Okay. So yeah, you're a guy that somebody teased you. They felt your wrath. Okay, I get that. So yeah, here is what Insecto looked like um, as of a week ago. But as you can see, his wings here. I was trying to think how would his wings attach onto his back. So I started looking that up, and that got me into um, so I'm like, ah, sorry, jeez, hate it when I. Okay, yeah, I used to carry metal lunch boxes. Yeah, not sure whether I ever had a metal lunch box. I did have plastic. Um, so for a second, try and ignore those pictures, some of those pictures that you saw. But yeah, so I started working on it, and this is more of the finished product that you're going to see here. Um, I reworked his back, figuring out how the wings would attach in. I would start looking at various insects. Sometimes we got use for things besides lunch if the occasion presented itself. So instead of four wings, I just ended up giving him two and having them attach in up this area, so it's in below here, and added on some other things that look more insect like. Included his belt, did a little bit of change up on it, did a little bit of change up on his uniform, making the arm sections sectioned off, if you will, and making it so he has his actual hands, they're not armored. And again, same with his legs, and his feet are I'm tossing up the idea of actually having a bare feet or whatever. I'm not sure. Once when I was 7, two twins in the 6th grade tried to beat me up. I like that keyword, tried. Um, and this went through a lot of different things. At first, this all wasn't attached. This holy orange thing. At first, I was just doing some sort of elbow type pad things, although they weren't elbow pads. Uh, you took a You look military now. I'll have to stop calling you bald, Rick. um, so it went through a few different changes. I'm not sure whether I have any of them. Let me go in. I'll take that away. I'll take the colors away. So this was a quick rough of what for back, and then we went from that to this. Um, and these were the first two spots where I was just going to start doing two wings, and then I started looking at the wings And this is where we started getting things. As you can see, here's those elbow pads, but I decided if we just take that off, and we'll just make this all one piece. So this will probably be the wings being attached. And that's where we've gotten to for the back. And with me starting to redo the back, I figured I'd had to redo the front. So we'll take the shading off here. So here's what the front ends up looking like. Even the school secretaries were making fun of them, saying some little kid beat them up and nobody was scared of them anymore. I overheard them laughing about it when I had a hall pass to the bathroom. Cool. Okay, so we'll go through the front stuff here. So again, quick sketch for the front for redoing things. Then we ended up, here's almost normal what he looked like, except with just 2 wings. Hey, Massive, how are you? Yo, Rick, what's going on? What are you working on? New character design? Well, I won't say new character, but I'm revamping an old character, Insecto. I've been working last week, I think just last week, maybe the week before. Just last week. The last 2 weeks. I've been working on doing his comic myself, and I was having to draw his back and get a more close up at the wings. I wanted to know how they attach, so I started looking at insects and all that, how their wings attach, the various types of insects. Yes, I did. As I'm saying, I got in a fight with a pair of scissors. I got a little cut up, but I lost by a hair. Or was it I won by a hair? But yeah, I am totally. It's been a while since I caught you live. Are you still on production of Canadian Shield #3? Yes, I am. I've actually got 2 new pages to show people for that. I have 4 pages sort of done in total. They all need a little bit of work. I'm not sure whether he's going to be doing the tweak. He's done some of the tweaking I said on the first page, but he hasn't done that all. I'll go over that in a few minutes after go through this. But anyways, yeah, with doing Insecto, and I'm doing it myself because it's going to take some time because it's about the 7th campaign away. Because we got Canadian Shield 3, Snowdrift 2, Flame 1, Canadian Shield 4, Snowdrift 3, Flame 2, and then Insecto 1. So I figured I have enough time to work on this myself. And, Insecto is actually probably my favorite character of all my characters. Canadian Shield is a close second, or maybe Insecto is the most infused. There is a little bit of me in Canadian Shield. There's a little bit of me, maybe a little bit of me in Flame, but not much. I more patterned that after a friend of mine. And there's a little bit of me in my character, The Wiz. But Insecto is probably going to have the most of me in him. I guess you could call it a self-insert, but not really. I just using parts of my personality in him. But anyways, yeah, in starting to redo him, I've mapped it out, the comic, and I'm starting to draw him in. And like I said, I wanted to know for the back, especially, I was thinking, how do the wings attach? You know, like I got to draw this, and if I'm going to draw it, I need to know what it is. And I started doing some redesign on the back, which then has led to the front, some redesign. So as you see here, here's the second step in the redesign. It's not so much redesign, it's just more the wings at this point. So then we have this where, well, there's more done here than whatever. I had the symbol on there. This was changed with talking with Dillard. I love the names Insecto. It reminds me of something campy you'd see in a series like Space Ghost or The Tick, or maybe something from an old serial series from the 50s, or something. Love it. Yeah. There's been a part of it is Spanish. Well, not literally Spanish, but in coming up with the name, me coming up with the name, Insecto is the Spanish thing because they have the O for masculine, A for feminine. In fact, there will be an Insecta at some point. But in comic, it's just he's asked his name, and he's going in. He sees the emblem on the chest here, and he sees the eye, but it's an eye and a bug face at the same time. And he says insect. He was gonna go for insect man, but he's like, that's too lame in his head. And he just trails off Insecto, and they take it as his name, Insecto. But anyways, yeah, I'm talking with John. I decided to do a little bit different on the emblem. As you can see, I started redesigning the face here, and I even started redesigning how his legs and all that look. And then, of course, we have the final look here, where I changed even the elbows and the knees. You have the thing. There might be some more slightly redesigned. They even redesigned the eyes a little bit. And here is both front and back with color. And here's a little bit of shading on the front. I also like the villain you came up with the fins for ears, and that blaster was in Kenichi. That guy was awesome. Oh, cool. Toxico. Yeah, so yeah. I'm coming up with a whole bunch of I've come up with a whole bunch of villains. Well, I'm glad you like that. Yeah, I guess it would be fins. I'm not sure how to describe his ears. They're not exactly fish fin or whatever. Oh, I think his skin is going to be leathery. I know a lot of people will see him and they think reptile, and I wasn't thinking reptile. I was just thinking something that got disfigured in some toxic waste. But let's see. So I took this thing here and I went and got to get them done a little bit better, as you can see here. I went in here and put a line down the middle so it would, like duplicate something if I draw. Here, I'll show you the line. So I went in here and I started doing it so I'd have my symmetry that I'd like. And I used the ruler here on the side to mark off the spots for height. So, for each one of these lines, it's supposed to be a foot. And the top of his head, he's 6'6". The antenna would make him technically taller. But I'm going from bottom of foot to top of head. You know, like say Toxico. His fins might come up above. They come up above his ears. We'll call them actually. They come up above the top of his head, so they don't count for his regular height because it's from bottom of foot to top of head. So in doing this, I decided I wanted to do other characters of mine like this, and I'm actually going to be doing more than these ones that I'm about to show you. I decided I did my main 7 characters thus far. Now, some of these need to be redone better. And if anybody, and hey, Mike, how are you? So, and I've saved each of these guys by themselves. So, as I get them done better, I'm going to probably bring them in and replace these. But of course, we have the Canadian Shield, and again, you can see the height difference. Oh, so you're able to start seeing a height difference in these. There's Canadian Shield, Snowdrift, the Wiz, Flame, Ozona, and Electite. Now, I could just do this endlessly. I'm probably not going to do it endlessly. I'll probably restart one for newer characters. Or not newer characters, but you get me. Will there be any villains who will be even bigger than the Canadian Shield himself? He's a beast. Well, I have a villain called King. He has size alteration, so technically him. He can be taller. Oh yeah, for sure. I just thought I know of one. Tank. I have a character Tank. He's sort of a juggernaut type character. He is, in fact, I was going to be going over that in a second. This illustration. Okay, so let's see. We're going to take that off. I have plans. Here's a bunch of characters. Some of these are alter egos, like Jack McAdams is Insecto's alter ego. I want to draw him up at the 5'10". But Tank is 12 foot. I'm going to draw Messenger in here who's 10. I don't have any plan. I'm not sure whether I have any plans for Canadian Shield to go up against Tank anytime soon. But Tank is the first villain Insecto takes on. And then there's Demon Blaster, who again is like, I think, a 12-foot robot. 10 to 12-foot robot. I think he's got to be 12 foot because that's what Tank is. And I want them to be like toe to toe because Demon Blaster, he's actually a hero. He will appear in Insecto number. No, sorry. Tank is the second villain Insecto takes on. Tank appears in Insecto number 3 as well as Demon Blaster. I have a character called Ultraviolet. She is the first villain that Insecto takes on. In fact, at the end of issue 1 of Insecto, a blast from her comes at Insecto. So yeah, I'm working. Hopefully over this week, I'm going to be drawing up all these characters to fit in one of those things, as well as another set. This is my. We have the Holy Warriors, which the 7 I just showed you were. But this is the Secret Warriors, the ones that operate during World War II. And I was working on some drawing stuff earlier. I was just drawing the 7 together. I originally just drew up the Canadian Shield. then I slowly put in where everybody else is going to be a little bit. Hey, if anybody else has any questions or thoughts, feel free to ask. Oh, so let's see. Let's. Here is his page 3 for Canadian Shield. Ephraim Crespros. I'm getting the same guy to do. There's a few things that need to be changed here. Like I want Canadian Shield to be up higher in this panel because it's looking like they're almost the same height there, and Canadian Shield has almost over a foot and a half on John Sims here. How's your painting been going? Unfortunately, I haven't been doing any painting lately. Um, they weren't. They didn't seem to be. The reason I started it was to see whether I could make them and sell them at downtown. Uh, although last month I didn't really put them up there for people to see. I don't think, but even when I've had them up for a couple months, not really many people paid attention to them. So uh, I might get back to it when I get my own place again. And this scene, although I like it, unfortunately, we're gonna have the background's probably gonna have to be scrapped because they're supposed to be in a hallway, and you're not supposed to be able to see this area here at all, this kitchen. So that's an oops on his part. But maybe he didn't know, maybe he didn't. Well, he should have because of some stuff that I had. And here is page 4. So we're up to 4 pages. And the one thing that he's going to have to change here is Canadian Shield. Doorways are normally about 6 foot, I think, right? Canadian Shield is way too small for this door frame here. He's going to have to make him like, a lot bigger. Maybe people do more. Maybe do more landscapes because those tend to be popular. Yeah, possibly. I was just trying to, like I have a superhero stuff, so I was trying to stick to the superhero stuff, but I get where you're coming from too, Cement. So, just for, are you still here, Massive? Oh, Massive. I'm confusing Massive with Sketchbook. Boom. Disagree. What do you disagree with? Oh, you disagree with Cement Shoes? That landscapes tend to be more popular? Or do you disagree with something I said? Oh, and that reminds me, uh, good night, Spoon. Since you're here and saying something, you had yesterday in Mike's chat, you were saying something about how you thought from day one that the girl that I liked was giving me red flags even before we went out. Let's hear your thoughts on that. I said I'd bring it up today. Oh, just to make some money, not to change. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't mind doing landscapes. It's just, I guess it's something I could get good at. It's not something I've tried. It's background stuff. I need to be better at background stuff for my comics. So, uh, hey, Devil Flyer, how are you? And speaking of that, this month is Art Crawl again. So this Friday, actually, like a side venture. Yeah. Who loves you, baby? Jesus. Jesus is my Lord and King. Oh yeah. Oh, and he forgot to put the thing on this. And then one other thing that I thought he would have realized from my thumbnails, although you can't really see it in these panels. He's not supposed to have boots on. I don't care whether or not anything is popular. The fact of the matter is, if you're not going to, if you're not going to do it, whether or not you get paid, it is if you're not going to do it, whether pay you to do something that you're not passionate about. Uh, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I get where you're coming from for sure. I was a little passionate about them. Like I don't know, I can admit that it was just a way to see, okay, well, something like this. There's other people selling paintings. I don't mind doing the paintings. I think some of you guys seen the videos I was doing for them. Um, you know, and just sitting there enjoying painting. I was enjoying my time doing that stuff for sure. Okay, so uh, whether where do you want me to start with the other thing? How much of your audience? Hey, Joshua, you finally got your haircut, eh? Yeah. As I said earlier, made a couple people laugh. I got a fight with. I got a fight with a pair of scissors. I got a little cut up, and I'm trying to decide whether I lost or won by a hair. I'll let you guys decide, but I'll let that be made up in your mind. Do you think I lost by a hair or won by a hair? You join the RCMP, Joshua. And if everybody could hit that like button and share this out, uh, you know what? Let's since I was talking about doing more of these, well, reading the chat and that, let's see whether we can get some of these out. Tank is an easy one. Let me just. Well, it's sort of easy, anyways. Uh, okay, so we're going to need to move this line over a bit. gonna add a line here, just so I know where the 12-foot mark is. Uh, so no. Oh, if they can't take your point of view, that's on them. It might not be my point of view. You know, everybody has their point of view, right? And I'm if they want to get kicked off from something you say, that's up to them. They can just ignore you. Okay, so let's see, how thick is this? Let's try this. Uh, I'll start at the beginning. It was never going to turn into a relationship of any sort. And let's bring this up a little. Uh, okay, why do you believe it wasn't going to? Although you're probably in the middle of typing that out. You didn't want to define. You, you did want to, you did want to define. I sort of get where you're going. Yeah. I just thought, what I guess probably more. Well, you, I probably wanted to define it. The thing is, I knew the things I wasn't telling you, and that's probably why that I knew exactly everybody was going to say once they heard that stuff what they were going to say, and I didn't want to hear it at that point because you guys all said exactly once you heard. I think you get what I'm saying. It's just let you talk. Let you talk to. You know. Yeah, you're Canadian. She's Canadian. She is beautiful. She probably. Yeah, or she didn't realize I was thinking of it as romantic. There's a more thing, I was thinking possibly romantic, and she wasn't thinking of that at all. Again, that comes back to me not wanting to define things. How old was she? She, well, technically she is, as far as I know, I don't think she's had a birthday, um, is 27. And you were not being yourself with her, you trying to. Um, uh, I wouldn't say I wasn't trying to be myself with her. I was probably definitely myself with her. I'd say 90 to 95%. We don't show everything of ourselves, on dates. I've been around her enough beforehand. Like before I asked her out, if you want to call it asking out, I had been around her for off and on for about a year. So, uh, again, I'm someone that go there, yeah. You met her at church. Yeah, I met her at the church I'm going to now, um, she stopped going to there. Although we had a minute, um, somebody runs a different ministry that she attends on a regular basis, and I think was supposed to have gotten saved through. I'm not sure. Um, she was going there, and the person happened to come to our church to preach one Sunday, and said that I could come by on Wednesdays when they had this meeting called the Gathering, which was for any ages. It's normally a youth ministry. So me being me, because she wasn't always at church on a regular basis, I thought she might be there on a regular basis. Give me another chance to see her throughout the week. Um, but unfortunately, the one thing that I found out through going out with her those few times, that she's more become Buddhist than Christian. Your problems started when you had uh, gassing you up as if you're destined to be together, and that everyone should be grateful to have acquaintances. Yeah, well, even with what they were saying, I think you could tell I wasn't exactly. I liked their support, but I wasn't going out and doing what they were saying either. Because again, me being me. And then you stop. That's when you stop dealing with. Oh, I did that way before those guys said anything. But even at the same time, even with that, I always ground myself in reality. I know my fantasy from reality in those situations, because I've done that with girls for years, because I haven't had the guts to even ask them out. Uh, yeah, I just think what it was rude of her to do. I'm going to tell you, they were. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I wasn't going to do that. There was no way that I was going to do that. So there is Tank. Where's Victor? What? I'm here. Right. Oh, you know what? Maybe what I need to do is bring this a little closer. I think it should be. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me if I disappear when and I've got my drawing pad here, as you can see, and I lean into it. And oh, did you? And you did a disservice to yourself by not finding out sooner and allowing yourself to. Oh, yeah. In a sense, you're correct, but although with her, I didn't quite develop. I didn't develop feelings as much as I normally have for girls in the past. By that point, Midnight Spoon. So, uh, in the I developed feelings with for girls for last interaction. I've gotten smarter a little bit. Okay, so there is Tank, people. Okay, so I'm gonna save this save as this will end up being a turnaround for the character, but right now it's just the front. Okay. And then we will take Tank. So we'll see. To yourself. Yeah, well, at least it was only 3 weeks. Well, 3 weeks worth of football dates. Uh, A little bit, but not as much as I have in the past. I didn't realize that was a question. I thought it was more of a statement. Which makes me my bad. So there is another character in there. Wow. I think that what covers it. Which nobody's saying much. We only got 4 people here, probably including me. If everybody can hit the like button, share this out, hey, try to get some people here. What do you think of Tank? Okay, so with Tank done, we can come here. And since he's done, down here, this a little bigger. I'm take this. There we go. Oh, here it is to draw and wait. I think I'm insulted. You never turned me. Well, if you're trying to refer to Tank, who's been in our community for quite some time, I did not turn him into a villain. I had this character before um, I was in this community. Just like I have a character, I had a character, Cat, who was a villain too, needless to say. Um, there's a couple others that I had. Let me see. Oh, Bullet. Although Bullet's a hero. Bucketeer. I'm not sure what you mean by Bucketeer. Okay, so I could do Messenger next. Okay, so now I hit X on that. And take off in sector here. Oh, Bullet ain't no hero. Yeah, well, my bullet is. So Tankter stole your idea, your idea for his name. Um, no, he came. He drove tanks, and he got that nickname back when he drove tanks before he knew me, and I came up with the name Tank for a villain before I knew him. So it was totally independent of each other. Yes, that's not possible. Why is it not possible? Tanks have been around. The vehicles of tanks have been around long since both of us were born. Tank is too. Yeah, really. Yeah, we're saying sometimes we say somebody's he. Well, I guess it's more reused. He's real beefy. He's real tanky. I've heard that. I'm pretty sure. And a guy trying being called Tank, who drives a tank, being called Tank. I'm with Joshua on this. You should sue him. I don't do. I don't want to do anything. Sorry. A second. Oh, I can make a final statement on that other subject. Okay. Ooh, just trying to think what I want. Take out these pages and say. Okay, so Canadian Shield with his mascot. Never take financial advice from people with no money. Never take career advice from the unemployed. Never take advice from the lonely, desperate. Never take home advice from the homeless. People who have their shit in order. People who have their shit in order aren't doing it. People who have their shit in order aren't doing it. Doing advice on the internet. Well, some are, but I get your point. Okay, so speaking of insecto, let's meet with them a little bit. Trying to hit that guy in here. Work doesn't take advice from anyone. I do. I listen to it and I weigh it on it and I weigh it on whether I think it applies to me or whether how I can apply it if I can, if it makes sense to me. There's a lot of ways that I weigh it. Yeah. You took her advice on getting a haircut. Well, yes and no. I didn't do it because of what you guys said. It depends on his mood and circumstance, but I imagine Mike has given him new perspective. And that is a conversation I will leave for some other time. 7 long years in the making, Joshua. Wow. So, do you feel weaker now that your hair has been cut? No, I do not. I forgot about the Samson arc. Then again, nobody's come and tried to bind me, so I don't know whether those muscles have gotten weaker or not. Um, so how do you feel about the new do? Oh, well, for the most part, I'm all right with it. Well, you know, like I said, I said it was my choice, so I don't regret it in the least or whatever. So, um, cut hair. I'm not sure how to put it. Personally, I feel liberated. I would like to have a fresh start when I shave it off. Yeah, and that's probably somewhat the reason I did it to sort of feel like I'm having some sort of fresh start. Although, you know, I had a fresh start like 11 months ago. I've had a few, I'm not even sure whether I consider them fresh starts. Had a few fresh starts this year. Some ways it was something I could control. I'm not sure. You know, nothing seems to go quite going the way that I want. You know, something that I could do, something in my thing. I'm not sure that makes any sense. I was probably just getting frustrated with the way things are going in my life, and why not do something crazy? Totally understandable. Being there myself. Not that your hair is really all that crazy, but for some people, I guess it can be. Oh, it must have fell out of my pocket.
You put the top on the cake.
There was nowhere else to put it, Anita.
Oh.
And it wasn't that it was going to flatten it that much.
Okay. Where are these guys? He put the pop on the cake.
Oh, yeah, well, the cake is taking up like a third of the thing. And tried to put it on the part of the.
Squished.
It didn't. It squished the container it was in. It didn't squish the cake at all. Yeah.
It squished the cake.
Let's see.
Not as bad as I thought it would. It squished the cake.
Oh, you what? There's a slight dent in the icing.
Put the pop on the cake.
Yeah. Well, there was nowhere else to put it. The fridge is full. It was full.
Put the pop on the cake.
Happy birthday! It's nobody's birthday. We got a free cake from
Food bank.
yeah, food bank.
Food drive. I'm kicking your keys all over the floor.
Yeah. Well, Anita,
What?
you you asked about the laundry, but you didn't notice something else.
Oh.
No. Look at the floor underneath the.
Oh my gosh, I thought it smelled pencil. Thanks.
What this? And we'll show you. I didn't see you. You know what? I don't like that going on like that. You know what? I'm gonna put anything in this. That, yeah.
The strawberries didn't last very long.
I'm surprised they last as long as they did. What news are you following, and what are your thoughts? Double. Well, I'm not really following much news. Follow a little bit of what's going on with Trump, not much. Apparently, I heard that there was a second assassination attempt, or was going to be a second assassination attempt on him, but they got the guy before we could even fire off a shot or anything like that. Follow a little bit of Canadian stuff. Not I've heard much lately, but major important on that.
Trudeau's getting sued. He wanted complete immunity and he's getting sued.
Yeah, well, that again, nothing new there. Rebel knew, well, maybe not him directly, but Rebel has had to sue because of him. And Rebel's suing him. Other people I've heard are suing him too, or the government or his government. Sometimes it's a jumble on exactly who. Yes, that's totally different subject. Anybody who's got a brain would realize Trudeau's an idiot. Nice.
You can't read and you can't do math.
Yeah. If to him, the budget will balance itself. Nobody has to do anything to make sure it balances, but it'll balance itself. So now let's. Yeah, not sure what else. 2 points. I did not know it. I did not know that thing about Papa John's. Okay, so we have Insecto in there now. Yes, we will do the same thing we did. This is going to be the flame here. So what else is there to talk about? People, are you? Would you? Okay, for those that are still here, what do you guys think of the redesign for Insecto? before or after? What do you mean before or after for the redesign? I guess after, since what it is, you know. Do you let? Well, I guess that's what he looks like now compared to before. Do you think he looks better? Do you like it better than what he looked before? So I guess it's after, unless you really like the design. I know the other design was really simplistic, for lack of a better way of saying it. I like this because I personally like it. It's got a little bit more to it than. Uh, it's not the best picture I have of them, but for before, there is before, and then we'll say this is basically after. It's definitely improvement, but I don't know if it's because you're better at drawing since the last time I saw. Okay, it's just drawn better. Design looks same to me. cross, cross comments. Are you okay? What happened to your hair? You're not sick, are you? No, I am not sick. No, not the way that you might be with that. No, I got in a fight with a pair of scissors. I got a little cut up, and it's up to you to decide whether you think I won or lost my hair. No, but honestly, no, I wanted to change something that could change. Things haven't been going all right, I guess, but it's just something I decided. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do something just because of good night's food here. Okay, so this is for you, good night's food. Oh, thank goodness, the one here was kind of your trademark. Yeah, well, I did think of it as a trademark, but okay, sure. Okay, so uh, put a extra thing here. Here, we're gonna do red for this. And go right above. It's probably a little too tall, but so here is what he looked like before. Well, hopefully. I know when I cut my long hair for a while, I did not recognize the person looking back at me in the mirror. Uh, I had long hair from 2000. I reached. Yeah, I had it for. Last time I did this was 10, 15 years ago. Okay, so this body is not quite right. This is just, you have to bear with it. I'm just trying to get a basic look here for. Probably made the head too big and the torso too big. Let's just give you a brief look at. No, 6.5. That symmetry really is pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. I guess the makes him five. It looks 5.5, but he's supposed to be 6. I'm giving there's markers over here. These markers are supposed to be evenly spaced up from the line here, the bottom line, and I'm giving each one is a foot. Insecto 6.5 feet tall. That was so. That's what Insecto looked like beforehand, basically. He was pretty much all gray, except for the eyes were yellow. The antenna were yellow. The wings were see-through bluish, and the eye was yellow. The bug eyes and that were gray. But that's compared to what he looks like now. This is as I was explaining earlier, Alpha, before you were here. As you might recall from the last few times that I've been on, I've been trying to draw the Insecto comic slowly, but I was going over and just doing all Insecto, all the spots where Insecto are. Now I'm gonna have to redo a few of them, but I was trying to figure out how his wings attach from the back, and in doing that, I ended up redesigning his back, which in turn went allowed me which got me redesigning his front, which redesigned more of his back, and went into a nice little loop. Let me know when you're 100%, so I can respond accurately. Okay. And I'll do something just for you, Good Night's Moon, too. It'll help you. Uh, I thought, oh, there we go. Except for the fact that it looks a little bit more cartoony here. You gotta. That's the biggest problem. He looks a lot more cartoony. But I didn't I didn't redefine it. I didn't fine tune them. So hopefully you can distinguish the fact of using that to, but I'd say I'm done at the moment. Give me a couple minutes. My phone is freezing up. Right back. Okay. But yeah, Alpha. So I ended up redesigning my character Insecto. And the one on the left is the new look. What do you think of the new look of Insecto compared to the basic look? Imagine he's supposed to be about the same skinniness and all that as the one on the left, but have the costume of the one on the right. Well, originally, anyways. Well, yeah, well, the proportions are better, but the one he's supposed to have the proportions of the one on the left, the one on the right. So imagine the one on the right with the proportions of the one on the thing. This was just quickly done. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it. I was just doing it right now just to show Goodnight Spoon. Like, as you can see here is more of the proportions what you would normally have. Oh, the one on the right has a better silhouette. Yeah. Here's what he looks the color. The new one, anyways. the placement of the wings lets you know it's in with little details. Yeah, yeah. It's just unfortunate when I went and researched, for lack of a better word, all the stuff for how the wing placement and stuff like that. This was more accurate. I know it's a comic book and it doesn't have to be accurate, but in trying to figure out how do the wings attach, how would they be at a resting thing? In fact, you can even there. I started drawing. Here's thing of him, but yeah, I get what you're talking. But in doing this for them, I end up doing it for a bunch of my characters. So you know how I'm starting to have a height comparison. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch more characters this week, and I'm even going to be drawing up like Insecto better. So and all these characters better because they're not. Canadian Shield's not too bad, but some of these need a lot more work. But you got Canadian Shield, Insecto, Snowdrift, Wiz, Flame, Ozona, Electide, and Tank. I put my response in the Discord. You can share it. Okay. Oh, your Discord? Okay, let's see. Browser. Here's what Goodnight Spoon said. Corporate needs you to find the differences between these two pictures. They're the same picture. Ah, goodness Spoon, goodness. But you know what? I might actually go along and redo this up. I got to redo the wings, of course. I do like the current version. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm what I like. I'm incorporating. It seems a lot of various insects in this a lot more. Um, I look at it. I can see a fly. Maybe ant. You know, even the statuesque gives a little bit of a beetle feeling, at least to me. Um, I'm not sure whether you can see any sort of a bee in there or not. let's see if I can do this a little bit better. See, the head is what threw me off the most, I think. Because once I got the head wrong, I got everything else wrong. And bees are fat, though. Well, some are. Or maybe wasp or whatever. Figure so. Take that out, and I didn't get down far enough. Also, another thing that with the new version, it doesn't look as much like Arthur. Still choking on. Yeah, talked a little bit about this, a little bit about that. Although it's going to be ending here very shortly. Okay, so there is another rendition of Insecto Quick. Oh, and since you're here, what do you think of the new rendition of Insecto Elk? That is much better. Yeah, it took a little bit more time for it, so doesn't look quite as bad. Although that one even still needs a lot of work. But of course, this is the new version. Let's see. Copy. Put that up, and we'll put this in. Put them down. Oh, it looks great. Is there something you do about his upper back, or are you going to run the pole? What pole? The upper back is too undefined. Yeah, well, this is the back. I haven't done any shading or lighting. And this is just, I guess I could do still a little bit more, but this is just, I don't know my back detailing as well as my front human hours full. I have no idea what my other hours would be besides um, 10 to midnight on a Tuesday. I realize that that's a lot. Probably the back needs a lot more definition. Uh, I'm just showing this off just to show the basic difference between know, the left and the right. Oh, no, no, not yet, Alpha. He's Goodnight Spoon is trying to get me to try and change the hours of the chill time to something I think a little earlier. And of course, I could do that while I don't have a job. I'm just not sure what it would be exactly on a Tuesday or what day during the week. Yeah, so this stuff is just to start getting me to get a gym. You should chill more. Okay, what do you mean exactly? What? Obviously, you mean pro stuff, but what do you think I should promote more here? The comics. And hello to everybody who's here. Because my Patreon. Yeah, all that stuff. Well, I guess I did at one time promote it a lot or a fair amount more, but I stopped promoting it a lot because most of the people here weren't doing it anyway. So, and I was, it was just all the same old people. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just if they're not going to give my to my Patreon, why bring it up? I wasn't getting a lot of new people, although since then I have, I'm 170 people away from thing. There's something too. I've gone down like about 6 subscribers in the last month. Thank you, YouTube. When you promote, it did make a difference. Did it make? Not really. Not as far as I could tell. Like I have a Teespring, I have a Patreon, I have Subscribestar, um, I have just PayPal for people that want to donate. What else? I have the other uh, Teespring and what's the other one? The one once the revival starts back up, you should see if you'll have you on the show then. You can show all your comments and donation pages. Oh yeah, Diller would have me on, I think, no problem. Um, I was well, I was, but I wasn't doing other stuff. I know I could get on to the battle if I wanted to easy enough. Yeah, you need to get on more shows to so you can promote. Yeah. The biggest thing I want to try and get right now. Well, obviously I'd like to get that 170 subs to get me up to 1,000. But right now, what I need the most is people doing the watching my stuff, trying to build up my watch time because, 500 people with 3,000 hours watch, you can get monetized for super chats, super stickers, and you can do the I'm a membership on your show. Not that I would, or your channel, I should say. Not that I have any idea what I do for special content for um, those people. You just don't tell them you are sick. Just don't tell them you are sick and need money. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't lie about stuff like that. And I think you know that. So you're just teasing me a little. So this is probably the new look, new coloring for Insecto. Of course, the back is probably there probably needs to be a few extra lines put in there. I'm not good at drawing butts. I don't draw. I don't draw the back a lot, so it's trying to figure out what lines to put in, what lines it was not. Yeah, I was. He's talking boogie. I was just talking. That's a boogie 298 did. Okay. I have no idea who that is. So, yeah, I'm definitely liking the new look for Insecto. And actually, he used to have a collar that attached to the eye. I took that off because of some suggestions. So see there, I do take suggestions, advice. Well, Joshua. But I sort of now bring it back with the shoulder thing being orange. I just when I sort of created that, I'm like, I can bring my shoulder thing back, like the circle thing, but now it's more than the circle. It's this whole shoulder. Yeah, you probably do know who he is. Maybe not my name. Oh, okay. So this means now I'm gonna have to go back and redraw Insecto in the few spots I've already drawn him and re-put him in with the new look. Oh, and for those that weren't here, a quick look at something else. Well, actually, I don't think Alpha's been here for any of these, so I will show him all of them. So we have page 1 of Canadian Shield 3. There's a few tweaks that still need to be done to it. Hopefully the artist is working on them. One of the major ones on this page is this armchair. Where it goes to on his head and where it is to his head on here is completely different. So that needs to be changed. This coffee table needs to be moved so it's more in front of his legs in between him and thing. And I want the Canadian Shield in panel 3 to be moved up so more so you see more of his torso. And then here's page 2. The face isn't looking the same in the other panels here. I'm wanting hit panel 4 here. I'm wanting his torso a little wider. He seems a little too narrow. Yeah, interesting. That art style reminds me of the way artists John Mayle draws. And the face just doesn't look the same as he did in number 2 here. The face looks a bit off. There's a line that needs to be put on here. And again, the coffee table needs to be moved so you can see it between the two of them. And I don't, although he looks big enough here, I don't think he's taken up enough of the couch, really. And he's doing the belt wrong. I'm going to have to, geez, I just seen that he's doing the belt wrong. Some of these, if he doesn't, and he's got this wonky eye. And he doesn't, here his shoulders don't look broad enough. And 2 pages that I just got today, number 3, page 3. Of Canadian Shield 3. Oh, and something else, I gotta tell him that the Canadian Shield's not supposed to be wearing boots. His boots. But in panel 3 here, I believe Canadian Shield, Lindley Kruger, needs to go up a little higher because this makes him look about the same height where, Canadian Shield has over 1.5 feet from this other guy. And in this one, he drew the wrong background. I know. I'm going over all this stuff with you guys just for something to do. although it should be ending soon. And then page 4. He doesn't have Canadian Shield in panel 2 here. He has them way too small. He should be up above the door frame, his head. I like that he is living room for word bubbles. Yeah. Although I like the more background. This one here, I was trying to debate whether the Canadian Shield is tall. I don't really like the way that he's doing what he's doing with the neck here, but I might say, you know what? I might say shorten the neck a bit. I didn't do that, but and that hand, does that hand look a bit off? It looks like he's over. Yeah, yeah, he does. I get that. So that takes away some of the thing. Like, again, like I said, there's supposed to be a 1.75 foot difference between the two. Canadian Shield, of course, is 8 foot, and John Sims, that's the other guy, he's 6'3". The other thing I don't really like is he hasn't put in the backgrounds, but I can put in backgrounds easy enough. But that's 4 pages of Canadian Shield. And I got to talk to him because on the campaign, I'm thinking of having some draw people into here for page for a church scene that there is. Get drawn into the audience, the congregation, however you want to put it. So that is an update for those that might want to know on the Canadian Shield number 3. So I guess with that, does your artist know he is supposed to be? Yes, he does. I've told him several times. Well, what happened to the bustier? The bustier is for Insecto. Number 1. Goodnight Spoon. There is no bus in Canadian Shield number 3. You cannot get drawn onto the bus when there is no bus. But with that said, there's no spoon. Anyways, I'm going to thank everybody for coming by. Hopefully you like this. Hopefully we should have some updates. Oh, yes, everybody, too. Another update. I was supposed to have an interview today, but it got pushed back till tomorrow. So I'm having a interview at it's called Sherwin-Williams. They are a paint place. They mix paints and stuff like that. For a bunch of stuff for interior decorating or for director decorating, painting your house. I think they've got wallpaper as well, stuff like that. So, yeah, I have an interview tomorrow afternoon there, or for me, today at 2:30. Yeah, I've heard of them. Let them know you're a painter. Well, that I have painted, done painting. Yes, I probably will do that. Go in with a can-do attitude, of course. Um, uh, so yeah, just thought I'd do that last update. I meant to bring that up earlier in the show, but I forgot. So yeah, again, thanks everybody for stopping by. It's been glad having you all here. You guys, you help make this show, and I'm not sure if there's much more else to say. Oh, tomorrow night, of course, I will be on the mic stand over on Mike Walters' channel. We'll be going over probably some sort of niche news article. Well, not sure whether I'd call it niche, but news article relating to comics or anime or something or the other like that. So if you like something like that, check out Mike Walters' channel. I put a link, but I'm not sure where. You know what? Let me give a link to his channel. I usually put a link in the whatchamacallit, the community tab. There's lots of stuff in there, or I put a link on Discord or somewhere. Oh, make sure you tell about your book and Patreon when you're on that show. Well, my books, sometimes I do for sure. Usually there's not a big audience there. Uh, the audience is usually people I know from here. Although he sometimes has some other people there. But here's a link to the channel, anyways. With that, I'm gonna say bye for now. God bless. Love y'all. Hopefully, see you on the mic stand tomorrow. Wear a button or shirt. Oh yeah, always, 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 always. Alpha. Did wash today for that, so I always wear a dress shirt when going for an interview. But anyways, yeah, God bless. We'll catch you all, hopefully, if not tomorrow, we will catch you um, next Tuesday. So, bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great and wonderful day, week, whatever it might be for you. God bless. Love you all.